8 of the second season of the SBL is finally here, and Playmore is taking on the New York Mankeys in the biggest game in Playmore history. There is so much going on with this battle, but the most important thing to me is I have been battling against Shady Penguin since the beginning of Draft League for me. I vividly remember going against Shady in the playoffs in GBA Season 4, the second season I ever really competed in. It's so exciting to get to go against Shady again. And this might as well be a playoff game, Tyler, because if we win, we're in. And if we lose, that's the end of the season. And a team that came into the season with the highest expectations flamed out, and that would really be a tough pill to swallow, man.
You know, I thought you were going to say that you and Shady have been battling from the beginning of time, and while I thought you were old, I guess I overshot it a little bit. But this is a very important battle. There are at least 5 teams competing for the final 2 playoff spots. Yeah. Playmore's one of them, and John, it feels crazy even to be in this spot considering we started the season 1-3. We've had to surge back to even have a chance to make the playoffs. And while I don't see a Mankey on the other side, I do see a Sneasler, and as funny as the name is, and as funny as it looks, that thing can be pretty mean, and I'm a little scared of it.
As you should be. I mean, Shady's had a fantastic season. Correct me if I'm wrong. He is guaranteed a playoff spot because he's just been one of the better coaches this season. He's got the Sneasler over there. I mean, Lando T, Rotom Wash, 2 Pokemon that have annoyed people since they were introduced. He's got a bridge, Tyler. Did you know that some Pokemon were bridges now? It's crazy to see what we're up against there. But our coach went into everything with the team match with the team he brought in a separate team builder. There's a lot to go over. Check that out if you're interested. But for us, it's ready to get into the biggest battle in Playmore history. Ben told us the goal this week is to win by any means necessary, and by the team he's bringing, I can tell he means business. A lot of bulk this week, and looking at the opponent, it makes a lot of sense as those first 3 Pokemon are scary offensively. And Tyler, both Terra Captains, one of them being Thwacky. Interesting to see.
Not just both Terra Captains, but I assume one being brought in the place of the bridge, Archaladon, that we talked about. And there was a lot of game planning on our side in terms of how to handle that. And John, this is something we've talked about in past matches. When you bring Pokemon that have sets for one thing, and then that thing is not there. Ben's had a lot more experience handling that as the year has gone on, so I think that's the number one thing that stands out to me from the other side.
No, it absolutely does. I saw Ben take a big breath. I know the amount of pressure he's put on himself for this battle, and I just want to say, before this battle begins, we see what he's going to do. Shout out to our incredible coach. He cares so much about this team and putting on a good show. I'm really excited. I'm proud of him. I'm ready for a big battle. Win or lose, Tyler, it's been a fantastic season. But man, I hope I'm in the booth one more time this season. So come on, Ben, let's do this. But considering it is the last time we can say this season, our incredible sponsor, play-more.store. We got the incredible Bubby plush. They should be coming in decently soon. We have an incredible shirt, and a new drop is on the way, maybe within the month. Keep your eyes peeled. A lot of exciting updates with Playmore. But Tyler, it all truly begins here with this battle. A lot of big expectations on us, and it's come down to one battle. I don't know if I expected that.
I'm wondering what Ben was expecting here, because we knew his game plan, no matter what, was to lead Metagross. Seeing a Pokemon, John, on the other side that I'll let you talk about a bit more. It's one that maybe we don't think of as too much of a threat, but it can be.
Yeah, I actually did expect to see the Azelf lead. That's not shocking, and it's incredible prep. That was very clearly the prep on Shady's side, to expect Stealth Rock lead in Prison. And now, I mean, we can get some good damage on this, but I would assume that this will be a Focus Sashed Azelf. As we see the Focus Sash there, a very standard lead for Azelf. And now Stealth Rocks are on the field for the rest of the battle. I think the really nice thing here, though, is Metagross is still completely healthy. We can get Rocks up later, and, I mean, Azelf is kind of a glorified sacrifice.
I think the one issue here, and John, you tell me if I'm wrong, I don't think we brought any removal this week.
Oh, no, those rocks they're hanging out, which is not great, but very, very bulky team. And unless I am incorrect. Oh, I am incorrect. Okay, Glastrier, of course, has leftovers, not the boots. That's not great. That is not ideal.
That's really, but the spin zone on that's the one Pokemon where that's really a big negative.
Yes,
The
absolutely.
rest, not really too big of an issue.
Yeah, and hey, this was not the perfect start for us, but it's not a bad start in any way, shape, or form. Like, Shady was able to do exactly what he wanted to do. Prevent our Stealth Rocks, get his own Stealth Rocks up. Azelf was always going to die in that situation. Big knockoff on the Metagross. Metagross is still useful, but it's not as useful, right? We're not going to be able to stay in against the Lando T. We're going to have to really figure out that matchup. If that is what Shady brings in, I assume he will be bringing in Landorus at this point, now that he knows that he can Earthquake freely. But we're still up a Pokemon, right? It's 6-5. I mean, Metagross is not on death's door. He's hanging out. He's looking shiny and cool. So, you know, I feel fine with this, right? It's weird to see someone else's plan go exactly the way they wanted and feel comfortable with the situation it put us in.
Well, I think that, especially based on the notes, Ben expected Azelf to be the lead, like you talked about. I don't think he expected our Stealth Rocks being sealed off. It seemed like it would probably be a trade, if anything else. But it's good to have Azelf off the field because of everything that it can do. And here, not a switch we were particularly expecting, but I'd love to see how this plays out. This is one of those two options you talked about earlier on. This could be a Terra Captain, might not. We don't know.
Yeah, and I guess this actually makes more sense when you think about it, right? Prevent our Stealth Rocks, bring in the Pokemon that'd be weak to Stealth Rocks. And, you know, there could be a Thunderbolt coming from the Magmortar expecting the Vaporeon. You know, Vaporeon's a very easy switch. And if we're fine losing Frankie, going for Rocks here is not the worst play in the world. But, you know, hey, the easy play, we do lose Metagross. We're not going to get our Stealth Rocks up, which is not my favorite thing in the world, but it's really not the worst thing. Both leads go down. We have something that can deal with Magmortar 1 billion times out of 1 billion. And Tyler, we still have 4 very annoying Pokemon. And, you know, hey, our ability to win this game it's still wide open. So, yeah, I don't know. Interesting beginning, but we might as well have started the battle 5-5.
Well, it's what we've talked about before with Metagross, where it was designed for a purpose. It also, a bit of the moveset was there to deal with Arch Aladon. With that not being here, I think Ben's very comfortable sacrificing that early on.
No, absolutely. And this is where Vaporeon becomes so much more fun to use. I've never gotten to use bulky water types since Flip Turn was added, and I'm really jealous because it's the one thing Vaporeon was always missing on my teams. I'd love to get this thing or love to get Melodic or something like that. And, you know, now, easy prediction, easy Flip Turn. We bring in this. We get a sub up possibly on a Will-O-Wisp or, you know, a forced switch, maybe a Leech Seed off, and now we're ready to be annoying. And Tyler, when your butt's on the line, when you're trying to play for a playoff spot, you can be as annoying as you want, as it all hinges on this silly little guy that won't stop rolling. So let's frustrate Shady. Normally I wouldn't want to say that, but I'm rooting for true frustration on the other side. This is one of the meaner sets I've seen. This is the meanest set Ben has ever brought, actually. I'm changing my tune.
Ben said this was the first thing that he added to the team this week, knowing what was on the line. And we were kind of joking around before we started recording. Like, this is one of those weeks where you bring Protect, you bring Substitute, and you go with it. That's exactly what Ben did. And we can't fault him a bit.
And it's working out incredibly well to begin. Yes. You know, you get that sub up, you force the switch, you have the Magmortar in, and now we get the Leech Seed up, you go for Protect, you're pretty much at full health, and Magmortar is not in a great spot. So yeah, no Stealth Rocks, which stinks, but, I mean, Magmortar is not going to be the happiest camper, and it doesn't have the ability to Terra into grass, so that's not actually a worry for us at all.
I think a pretty picture-perfect sequence since that beginning. And that's one thing, I've mentioned that first 4-game stretch of the season. Yeah. This is now the last of the second 4-game stretch. That's been one of the big shifts, is how much Ben is affected by that opening sequence. Because we saw matches where if it started badly, that's the match. Now, we've seen over the last couple of weeks where there's been maybe a bad start or not an ideal start. You see in football, like you script your first however many plays. Things have not gone by the script, but Ben's still in a great spot.
No, absolutely. And, even with last week not going the way we wanted, it was still one of the better performances I've seen really any coach, put out there. I mean, Ben has been on top of his game, on top of his prep. And at this point, you can just tell he's comfortable in the battle. At this point, very easy to actually force a switch here, get a substitute off, expecting that, and then get another leech seed. It's not the most exciting gameplay, but if you can really whittle down a team like this with this good predicting, I mean, it gets so much more difficult for our opponent to operate the way he wants to. But Thwacky, as we see here, could be a little frustrating. We do have foul play, but Tyler, I haven't really gone against a Thwacky in my life. I don't really know what to expect from Terra Captain Thwacky.
Yeah, don't turn to me for any expert analysis. I don't know if it's there because it has 2 sticks that it can smack you with, and you don't know which hand it's going to choose to thwack you over the head with. It is here, I think, mainly out of confusion. But just bring both Terra Captains, so if you're Ben in the moment, you don't know which one is that Terra Captain. And if you throw in a Violet on this thing, when you alongside the Grassy Surge ability, it does actually have some good function. If anything, it can be a little bulky, and it's very annoying for this set in particular with Electrode. I don't know how much it's going to be able to do offensively, though.
Well, you brought up something really good there, like a little confusion, the different Terra Captains. Now we have 6 different Terras to worry about. It's a big reason Ben wanted to bring a set like this. It's not everyone's favorite thing to see sub and protect and leech seed, but now Ben has a fantastic ability to really just scout. What does Shady want to do? Now, I actually really like that switch on Shady's part because it does not reveal a single thing about the Thwackmeister Thwack. And I don't know if that really matters. I don't expect big things from Thwacky over there, but it was brought for a reason, and I'm very confident that it will surprise me. But at this point, Monica, what do you really want to do? Right? We can leech seed you. We got protect. We got sub. We can mess with your just entire existence. Sure, there's grassy terrain to heal up a little bit, but still going to be frustrating.
Well, and another thing we were worried about that we don't get an answer for there is Grassy Seed Sneasler. The potential of that is you double up with the Grassy Seed as the item, boost your defense, it's got Unburden, boost the speed. We didn't get an answer to that. So we don't know.
I do love our coach. Why would you do that, Ben? It wasn't a bad play, but with how the season's gone, if there's a chance to get burned, you're getting burned.
We're going to get burned.
You did nothing wrong, but you knew you would be punished with the luck there. It was always going to happen, but hey, I think this is completely fun. Well, I don't actually know how flame body or like a burn affects the foul play because the foul play is dependent on the opponent's attack. I don't know. There's one of those small things I haven't really thought about ever. But it doesn't matter too much. From everything we've seen with the Mag Mortar, we should be able to bring in Vaporeon pretty well. And even if it does have the Thunderbolt, I mean, we are so specially bulky, we should be good. Now, we are 1 Flame Body away with Flip Turn for another burn, but burn's not as bad as it used to be, Tyler. It's you can deal with a burn, especially on especially offensive Pokemon.
Trying to dive into this foul play thing, and it seems for some reason people have different opinions on what actually happens with the calculation. So we're going to move on from that.
Smart.
We're just going to do what Ben did, and we're going to pivot.
You can tell.
A really good play on Shady's side there to go with the double switch.
Well, and you can tell why Shady was so fine getting rid of Azelf as long as he could prevent the Stealth Rocks on our side. He wants to switch around willy-nilly, which works out for us with the team we brought. I mean, there's a lot of Pokemon to scouts, and it is a bit of a stalemate right now. Someone's going to have to break through, but I really, really love that in this situation, we have what we need to really figure out what's happening on the other side. It's really, really nice as well to see the wood hammer there. It doesn't give us
one
everything.
Of those sticks is a hammer. The visual cue does not give that away.
Hey, they don't want to see us win. Tyler, they don't want to see us win.
This game's so underdeveloped. My goodness.
But I mean, with that grassy terrain gone, that's actually a really big deal. And with Weezing, I mean, Weezing stops this guy. It stops Sneasler, which is fantastic. I really, really love that we're going to be able to bring that in Obviously, switching is not great with Stealth Rocks, but I mean, every Pokemon we've really switched in so far does have recovery. The 2 Pokemon that we haven't switched in, being Iron Valiant and Glastrier, they don't have that recovery. We don't need to use them right now. You know, there's nothing on Shady's side that's threatening to break through the team.
No, and this is one of those where those Pokemon that we think of as being the sweepers, the one you hold in the back to clean things up or at least shift momentum. Here, realistically, you really do just hold them in the back until you absolutely have to throw one of them out there.
Was that Choice Banded?
That was a lot.
That was a lot of damage. When I look at Thwacky, I mean, obviously Stab Woodhammer is powerful, but I mean, that's 85 attack. And we're not in the terrains. That, I'm not sure. I don't have any calcs on me, but that feels like a pretty powerful hit we got to be careful with. But at this point, you can easily predict a switch. If you can get the Toxic on the right thing, that could be huge. But there is also the very frustrating ball of evil. So I mean, I see the vision both ways. There's the switch. What's he bringing in? Monica. I would have really liked a Toxic there, but
yeah. Understandable move.
Yeah, and it's difficult, right? Because Magmortar could still have that Thunderbolt to punish the Vaporeon on the switch, right? So, you know, we're in kind of a delicate situation. There's been a lot of switches on the other side. There's a lot going on. We still don't have the full picture of what's happening on the Magmortar. We can get a Protect off. It's not perfect, but any information is good information. And we do know Monica is not healing up. But actually, the substitute here, interesting. I don't know if he's predicting maybe the Thunderbolt now. Nope. Okay. Nope. Okay. It's still a Flamethrower.
I don't know if it was a prediction or maybe just a hope. And if you get the Thunderbolt, genius, and you're in great shape.
Yeah.
If you don't get it, really no harm, no foul.
Right. No, absolutely. And that's where
substitute protects you from so much and allows you to try so many different things because it's basically protect. You can take a little damage. But if you roll the dice perfectly and you take a weak hit and you stay in that sub, my goodness, does it pay off.
We are at a point, though, where we really need to start getting a little bit of damage on Shady's Pokemon.
Because with all this switching, we are the only side that's being slowly chipped.
But unlike before, I feel like this has happened to us before, and we could see the team slowly getting beat down. Everything is still fine, and our win cons are still there. You know, there's nothing on Shady's side that is truly, truly worrying me. Like, uh-oh, nothing we can do. We do get a little bit of information here, which is... which is nice.
Yeah. So...
I mean, it's fine, because we're going to be able to get a wish off here, and we're not getting toxic, okay? Spin zone, spin it around, Tyler. No toxic, no poison.
Wait, okay, spinning.
Spin. There we go.
Spin it. How many times should I spin?
I'm
speeding up. It's getting out of control.
You know what? Hey, we got our wish off. That's the right amount of spins. It works out. We got our wish. You know, we don't see anything from... Stop spinning, Tyler. Stop the spinning. Rotom Wash is in. The spin cycle is in. We need you to stop spinning because this thing can spin to the basket, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Where? Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to calm down, Tyler. This is a big moment.
I've unspun.
Good. Ben? The Beneral? Big Ben?
What's he cooking?
He's cooking. He's cooking. Okay. This is what I like to see. This is why I love Vaporeon. Hey, I'm used to watching someone like Ben.
Give us the luck.
Give us the luck. These defensive Mons, the big hits turn into little itty bitty hits that don't matter. And now luck.
Well,
Luck.
Really wouldn't matter much here, but I'd like a burn anyway.
Oh, it would matter. Are you kidding? It's Choice Banded, maybe.
Oh, yeah, we think it's choice. No, do it.
Yeah! Luck! Woo! All right. If it can happen, it has happened this battle. And either coach would be the most foolish fool to ever fool in the fool world to not think if something can go wrong, it will.
It will.
If you die to a crit, you gotta play around that. If something has a secondary effect, it's gonna happen. We are 3 for 3. And that can get into your head. I'm kind of joking, but that truly can get into your head, right? You can't even switch freely into this thing without having a burn. You know, we do anything when you get burned. It's a lot, Tyler. It's frustrating.
Is this thing just gonna swing the? Oh nope.
Okay, now this is actually a big deal.
This is a big deal. I agree, because we're gonna get. Well, we might not get an answer either way on the whole choice band thing. But if we're assuming choice band, I think we're pretty safely assuming a switch from their side here.
Or we're in an interesting spot, because if we lose the Black Sludge on Weezing, I mean, Weezing's in a really... Oh, it's Rocky Helmet, actually.
Yep.
But actually, that my point, it changes, but the outcome does not. Weezing, we need that thing for the Sneasler, right? We can't let that thing get too low. You can't switch that thing in on that knockoff too easily, as it's really just not going to stick around. Ben, knowing that to be the case, is now switching in the Hisuian Electrode, which I kind of assumed with how this battle went, or has been going, that it was going to stick around for the long haul, but it might not be long for the battle, Tyler.
Which is a little scary, because it's designed to make the battle long.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
I think that pretty... I mean, we were already pretty confident in choice band. Lock it in, stamp it.
Yeah.
We know that's the case. At this point, I do want to see how Ben handles this, if it's just get off any amount of damage, although it's going to be little. At this point, burns are on both sides. I don't know what one burn does to foul play, so I at least like the roll of the dice here if we get a switch.
No, I really do like it. Shady's been switching a ton at this point.
Yes.
I mean, this thing's not going to really be able to do much to us. We've been really, really passive with this. Hey, no harm, no foul. I mean, I think you go for it. We're going to be able to be in a really actually advantageous position when we lose the Hisuian Electrode. Maybe go into Iron Valiant and try to pick off a Pokemon and get a kill. So I do like this thing going down, even though it does worry me a little bit. We lose a lot of speed. But
can keep it around just to throw it in and have it die on rocks and get a free switch.
Not a bad thing to do. Sometimes it's the best thing you can do in Pokemon. I mean, hey, if we had a little bit more of that last game, we'd probably win that battle. So we're losing the choice specs here. And considering that this is a mixed attacking choice spec Pokemon. It kind of works
out. You know, I wanted to see the idea of, we've talked about tricks earlier in some of those mind games. I wanted to see the mind games with the specs on the Pokemon that is split between physical and special attacks. But it kind of frees you up here.
And
realistically,
if our opponent brings in Magmortar, it's 4 for 4, and now there's another burn on this thing, and then we go for the Aura Sphere. They'll never see that coming. They will lose Magmortar, and all of a sudden, we're in a fantastic position. So I love this, love this, love this. Get the burn, Magmortar. Let's do the thing.
It's another case, too, where you've got a set designed for one thing. Zoro, since the moment it's been on the field, has not been able to do what this set was designed for, and it's working out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's kind of the beauty of Iron Valiant. It can do a lot of different things. I mean, you might be able to predict some of the moves week to week, but it's hard to really pinpoint its exact set and its exact role. And I think this is going to be the best use case of that. I don't actually know what this is.
Oh.
Butts. Stinky, stinky butts, Tyler. I've lost my ability to commentate like a professional for a brief moment. Let me mourn what could have been a very fun move. I'm going to need you to move things along.
The spinning helped me a lot. I don't know if that's how you choose to do this or not. I know at times you've chosen to reside in the floor. Okay. I might have just left. I don't know. Either way, I don't feel the best about this. Land OT, you can look up any amount of videos. At one point was the greatest competitive Pokemon, or considered to be the greatest competitive Pokemon ever. It still doesn't have that status. I like this move here. This is why you save the Electrode. This is why Ben is the coach. This is why we sit back and do what we're doing, which is spin around in circles and at times sit in the floor. Now you can try to set up what you want to against this Land OT, because even while it's not considered the top threat on this team, I think we agree that would probably be Sneasler. We were talking about this before the battle. how does Lando T go from being the greatest of all time to oftentimes overlooked? This thing has almost 150 base attack. It's an incredible Pokemon.
Well, and it is worth noting that in draft league singles, I don't care about what the VGC people have to say about it. It's not very relevant. And, the best Pokemon in VGC is often something with Intimidate. You're intimidating 2 things. Lando T is intimidating 1 Pokemon, and there's so much more to this. And when it comes to draft league especially, it doesn't really matter, if it falls in the rankings and the power creep catches up to it. And this is a Pokemon that can set up and be an offensive monster. It can be choice banded, choice scarfed. It can just be a general support Pokemon. It's gonna stick around, and really the biggest weakness this thing has is that 4 times to ice. We do have the horse, Nay. I wanted to say more things after. I'm gonna say nay, Tyler, nay.
And I've been maybe say I'm intrigued to see if he also says nay, or if he says yay, because those rocks are scary.
You gotta stop. You are a professional broadcaster. You gotta stop.
Horsey! Yay to the nay! Woo!
All right. Now, this is a Pokemon we were talking about pregame. This is our favorite Pokemon on the team. It may not be the actual MVP of the season. It just feels like the heartbeat of this team. If we are gonna go down, we're gonna go down swinging with the horse, okay? And I really love this spot. You know that Shady is ready to, switch and U-turn and this, that, and the other. Getting a curse up here, which is what I'm pretty sure I saw him go for, is very fantastic.
Big spot.
As we are max specially defensive, so we should be able to take a hit. Oh, and we can, he's ready to Will-O-Wisp. Oh, Tyler, this is everything. This is everything. Wow, I feel giddy, Tyler. I feel like a fan. I don't want to commentate this. I just want to watch the fireworks. Shady has accidentally fallen into our trap here. There is nothing that Casper, the very friendly ghost, can do to this horse. How long will it take for Shady to recognize the really terrifying situation that he has put himself in?
I don't know. And I think this is where it's most fun for us, because not just do we own this team, not just do we commentate the battles, we are fans of the team. I would like to think we're number 1 and number 2 in the fan power rankings. This is awesome.
This is really fantastic.
This is what everything is built towards this season. I did nothing. Let them know, Ben.
Wow. Man. I'm like trying to hold back from just various football celebrations that don't fit the moment. Because we haven't won anything. We haven't even gotten a kill with the horse. But we are at +2, I guess minus speed as well. But we are not dying to anything, but get ready to knock on wood. A crit earthquake, knocking on the wood just in case. And nothing on the special side is taking us down. Shady at this point may suspect that we are, cursed rest, but he's not going to know that for sure. The thing that is a little bit scary is if you've ever done the old rest sleep talk, it doesn't always work in your favor. So we may have to start worrying about that, but this is a really exciting spot to be in. Ooh. Okay. Ben expecting a possible switch there. I really like that aggressive play. And at this point, I think we have to go for the rest. And unless, once again, there's a crit.
It's all about the crit.
I did say earlier, if anything bad could happen, it will happen.
We're going to have to hold you to that statement. Well, Ben is not. If anything bad can happen, it will.
There we go. You ain't hitting all of those. Man, one of the most famous VGC players, most famous moment, and I feel bad that this is the case, is Rotom Wash missing moves. It's just how it goes with Rotom Wash. It either frustrates you in battle or it lets you down when you need to hit a Hydro Pump or a Will-O-Wisp. So now
we need a good thing to happen.
I'm predicting a little bit of a Killarooski. Never mind, I lied. I'm a big stinky liar.
Ben expected that. He let us know about that coming in. That was the one thing he was worried about with Rotom, but he still felt confident in winning a one-on-one between these two.
Oh, he wins the one-on-one here. I got a little too big for my britches. I was ready. Blood was in the water. I became a shark. I was going in for the kill. But Rotom is still frustrating. And they frustrate the person using it. It's also going to frustrate us. Now, at this point, Shady is in a precarious situation. These situations get away from you so quickly. He needs to find a way to get rid of the horsey over here before it goes nay too many times. But can he really switch? If he doesn't switch and he keeps doing what he's doing, we could keep getting more curses off.
Yeah.
He's really gonna have to make a bold play at some point, and it's gonna have to pay off.
Everything here is a dice roll.
It really, really is, and we can't lose at this moment. There is nothing that Shady can do in this moment that would even remotely worry me. It would have to be that next turn, which is exciting. That didn't worry me. And if we get the avalanche, I mean, that could kill. Okay.
Another one.
Oh, it's close. It's close. Okay. But that puts Casper in a really precarious situation. I think at this point, you just go for the easy curse, right? Because we wake up for sure this turn. That's how rest works. So I think you curse up. I mean, there's only so many hydro pumps left, and I feel like it's probably going to go for the pain split, expecting the rest.
I think you're right. Yep.
Mm-hmm. This is the best possible thing as a commentator who has played a lot of competitive Pokemon. I no longer need to guess. I know everything that's happening. Tyler, I feel like it's been a bit since we've been in this spot, and it's a beautiful thing because we are in the power position with the Glastrier. There's still a chance we don't win with the pony, but something crazy is going to have to happen, and Shady is running out of hydro pumps. So at this point, I do like the rest just to be safe. Don't count your chickens before they hatch. Bok bok. And I mean, Shady, does he go for the double pain split? I don't think I see it. Ooh. It didn't matter.
I think he was just trying to figure out there's a smart move to see with all the attack boost if that outdoes hydro pump. I don't know if it's a roll. I don't know if he's got the calcs up as he's doing it. I get it.
The thing is, I think for Shady, he has to predict a rest correctly. Volt switch or hard switch, bring in Landorus and get the crit Earthquake. I don't actually see how else he gets out of the situation. I've been in this spot. A lot of the times when I was in this spot, I panicked, I did what he's doing, and then I lost, and then I was really sad and really frustrated. It's a very unfortunate spot to be in. For me, it made me hate Cresselia more than any other Pokemon that's ever existed. A lot of calm minds, a lot of healing, a lot of just fat duck energy sitting there, and it wasn't cool. I didn't like it. Here?
Well, the thing about this, too, is that Ben didn't show this in the regular season before this match.
No.
It's the first time we've seen this set, so I don't know if Shady was ahead of it, and he knew, all right, this is win and you're in, lose you go home. There's a good chance he brings something like this. I don't know if Shady was accounting for seeing this.
No, I don't think he was. Oh! We couldn't even get the avalanche.
If it can go wrong, it will.
I have a lot of thoughts.
Mine are mostly bad.
Yeah, first thing I wanted to say is no way Shady was expecting this, and that's just because there's so many sets one can bring. Sometimes you just have a Pokemon like this that can stop an entire team. There's not really much you can do. That being said, Shady handled this as well as you really could. He needed a crit, and I said getting into the Landorus, that was going to be the big place to get that crit. He did not show foul play until very recently, which actually in itself is a little bit shocking as we saw how much damage it ended up doing. So I don't know why he saved that, but staying in and playing the foul play game was very, very smart. In that spot, there's only so many things you can do. It turned out he had a trick up his sleeve, and he got the crit. So now our season is hanging on by a thread. And right now, Tyler, I think the story of the season would just be, like, crits and like the burns. It's it's a frustrating one right now. It's not a satisfying ending. It can't end like this. I refuse to believe it will end like this with a crit. Hey, you bring that set, you stay in long enough, you're asking for a crit, but I just don't believe that's how this is going to end. I refuse to believe that.
Well, I think it's appropriate that so much of it comes down to the Pokemon that there was a large debate between whether or not it should be the first pick. And now it has the chance to prove itself in a match in which the other option, Garchomp, not here.
Nope.
The entire weight is on Iron Valiant's shoulders, combined with some of the shakeups we've seen with the team. This is, I feel like this is such a just so poetic, just considering what's left on our side.
It's difficult. I'm looking over at the coach, and you can see how down he is. But we've talked about it, Tyler. I've had many battles myself where I sat there. I couldn't have been more dejected, especially when it wasn't live comm. I couldn't have been more negative vocally. And I'd leave that room like, no, I won 2-0 to whoever was there to hear. And Ben absolutely has that in him. I've watched him do that. This is where you really see what a coach is made of. Things can go wrong in Pokemon. If you're going to bring rest talk, there's a chance there's going to be a crit every single time. You're kind of asking for it. Okay, that went wrong. Well, what are you going to do? How do you get yourself out of this situation? What can you do? As you said, that #1 overall pick for us. I love that. You knew the Grassy Glide was coming. We have the Rocky Helmet for a reason. Let's claw back. Let's claw back, Tyler. Come on. We can do this.
I love it. We've got the top pick, this new addition that we looked at as being, all right, this is how we flip our season. We were coming off a win, got some momentum, and said we're going to completely change this team.
Yep.
We have one of those pieces here in Weezing that felt like coming in was going to be one of the most important pieces on our team with what's on the other side, and here we are. Time to prove it.
Tyler, I see the vision here. What on the opponent's side is taking down Vaporeon? Yeah. And more than that, what's taking down the combination of Weezing and Vaporeon? If we can get a wish into Vaporeon, I feel so incredible about this. The Rotom is gone. No more Pain Split shenanigans. I ask you once again, Tyler, what is taking down Vaporeon? Is it this?
I don't think this. I mean, this is the situation where we get a free opportunity to bring in Vaporeon.
Absolutely.
This is swung.
It's gonna come down to some fantastic plays by Ben. And while a lot of these plays may be a little bit boring and a little bit stally, if he can get the right wish off into the Weezing, if he can get the right flip turn just to pivot, I mean, the right Pain Split, everything can change. It is not over. We still have some speed with Iron Valiant. We can still break. If we win this, it will not be pretty. It might not even be fun to watch, but there is still a chance we could win this battle. We really have to find a way to keep Weezing healthy, though. We brought that for Sneasler. Sneasler's still around. We have not seen that. It is the biggest threats. And this turn, this one, is a big one. I've brought up Thunderbolt a billion times. Let me just make sure I'm not an idiot. You do learn that, right?
Ben had a great prediction there because he was very aware of the Psychic. That was in his notes. He was ready for that, knew that was the time to switch. Here we go. Now we know the Terra Captain. And we didn't think that this would be the case if both this and old Thwackman were here. We thought really the only reason you bring it is if it's your Terra Captain, but were those mind games being played?
No, absolutely. And I mean, I think we slept on Thwacky a little bit. But I am fine with everything here. I mean, no more stab moves, right? Obviously, Psychic into the Weezing is a huge issue, and the burn is, kind of infuriating at this point. But nothing that Magmortar is going to do is going to take us out. The grassy terrain will go away, so he's not going to keep getting healed up, which is nice, though that was perfect timing.
And now this is something, if Weezing's on the field, you can't switch it into Weezing.
No, absolutely not. In no way, shape, or form can you do that. Now, Terra Blast is pretty powerful and scary, but let's think about this, right? Scorching Sand, Terra Blast, Flamethrower, Psychic. No Thunderbolt. No. The thing I've brought up, it probably an annoying amount of times. but this thing cannot take on Vaporeon. I will ask you for the umpteenth time, what is taking down Vaporeon?
And the good thing about it being burned, we've talked about this, is it hurts Sneasler's chances of being able to take on the Vaporeon. Well, we don't know if it's an unburdened Sneasler. We don't know if it's running Poison Touch. We don't know, but you can't poison it.
No.
And you're fine with it. The one thing we don't talk about too much with status problems, we know it takes damage, but the stat drop. We're cool with an attack drop on Vaporeon. Feel free. Make it 0. You could go negative.
You see Ben there really hoping for the burn. Hey, you're asking a bit too much there, Mr. Ben. Asking for too much. But, I mean, I like the situation. It's the second time our opponent has found himself in this position. The first time he got out of it pretty masterfully. I still don't understand why he saved the foul play, and it just worked so perfectly. I have to assume at this point it's just great strategy. But in this situation, he realizes he doesn't have another trick up his sleeve. He's shown all of his tricks with that Pokemon. He's bringing in Thwacky, which does make a lot of sense. But if there's a wish here that we can pass into Weezing, Tyler, this goes from, I don't know how we win, to wait, we might be able to win, to, oh my gosh, what is Shady gonna do?
Well, and the statement you made about Weezing was have to keep it healthy.
Yep.
That changes if you make it even healthier.
Right, you are.
Big brain strats over here.
Hey, the longer the battle goes, the less we got. And you know what? That's fine, because the coach has not dropped off in the slightest. And this, as simple of a play as this is, as simple as the strategy is, I mean, this is perfect. And this is why Draft League is so beautiful. Everything you could go for could go wrong, and still, the things you prepped can bring you back. You don't need to win with one Pokemon. You bring 6 for a reason. That's not gonna kill. I don't care. And now, Thwacky is going to go down, or we can just get a nice little poison into something. And Tyler, we already had Magmortar versus Vaporeon round like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If that thing's poisoned, or we Sludge Bomb and take it out, I mean, KO us.
I mean, you either have to let this faint or realistically bring in the Sneasler man.
We have Psybeam.
Yeah, I think you just gotta. I think you've just gotta let Thwacky go down here.
You have to, well, something's going down, right? Yes. Or you're switching something like Landorus into a Sludge Bomb or a Toxic. I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah.
How did we find ourselves? Yeah, how did we get here, man?
Yeah, well, we have been on the brink of defeat. We went to the brink of victory. A crit ruined that. We were again on the brink of defeat. I was ready to fall over on the floor. What a battle. Can we just pause and say that? Like, for this to be the last battle of the regular season, everything on the line already, this being like the history between you and Shady, this has lived up to everything. Like, in terms of hoping for a good battle, we've gotten everything we could ask for.
Absolutely.
Oh, I can read his lips. He was saying Lando, 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 poison, poison, poison.
Oh.
Yeah, well, all right.
That's okay.
You know, if that was us switching in Lando there, I'm super confident we would have been poisoned.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? Hey, this is one of the better battles I've ever watched, one of the more important battles I've been a part of. And if it's not going to come down to only hacks, I think I can handle that. But I need it to continue being a good battle. Don't let that be a tiny little thing that swings things the wrong way. Now, Tyler, one thing we actually did not mention, though, with the Thwacky, Grassy Surge, it could, or Grassy Surge, that's the move. Yes, will you go first in the train?
Grassy Glide.
Glide.
He glides on it. Yeah, he glides.
Sure, yeah. Or maybe it's the ability is the Grassy. There's a lot of grass.
Yeah.
But that's why he's keeping it, because it gives him priority at the end of the game. And that is actually really, really important. So, sacrificing the #1 pick. Now, I felt really, oh wow, Facade. Okay, it's good we didn't get the poison.
Yeah, never mind. Forget poison. Don't.
Okay.
I don't, well, and the burn.
Okay.
But good job, Iron Valiant. We thank you for your service. Hopefully you get to service again next week.
I was probably the deciding factor in us taking Iron Valiant first instead of Garchomp, but we did get Garchomp second, so it's not like I sunk the team. Yeah, we got both, but
yeah,
it hasn't worked out the way I thought it would, Tyler.
No. It hasn't been a bust, you know.
Right, it's not Anthony Bennett, but it's not Wembanyama, you know.
No, it's like I don't even want to say it's like Tyreek Evans post rookie season.
No, jeez, that's awful. Okay,
wow, you know he's good.
No, that ended horribly, and we're moving on because it ended. That was a bad ending. No, don't listen to him, Iron Valiant. We're moving past, and we're gonna just pretend like things are not dire. Now, we can still win this battle. When I was talking about us clawing back, I didn't mention Iron Valiant. That really did not matter in the equation of Vaporeon and the Weezing. And Weezing is healthy at this point, and I actually don't know if Landorus can take a Scald. I mean, it might be able to, but like Vaporeon has better special attack than you imagine it having, just because it's so fat. I mean, like you look great, Vaporeon. I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. You just Tyler, take over.
Why would you say that?
It was a compliment.
It is big boned.
I do my best up here. The lights are bright. Yeah. I'm doing
what we can say is Lando T. It's not fat. It does not take. It has no bulk. It's a little bulk, but there's a chance this. I don't know if there's a chance it kills. Like, I don't know if it's a roll or what, but this. If Ben stays in here and attacks, and they don't switch, this does a ton.
It does. I like the solidarity of it's just one after another. We're built for 20-minute battles. Ben, he has us on the ropes. All three of us are on the ropes right now. And a flip turn here. I said earlier, Tyler, the right turn with a flip turn or a wish or a pain split could change everything. If he nails this flip turn, this could be the move that saved the season. It really could.
Forget everything we've been saying for our sake more than yours. This is, he makes the safe play. Either way, it's huge.
If we get the burn here, as I said, it might just kill. Okay, wow, okay.
I wonder if Ben was doing calcs, and once he knew that was a guaranteed kill, that was the move, 100%. Or it could have still been a roll. I don't know.
Could have lost us the season, Tyler.
Yes.
Wow.
It's a good thing we're up here.
But that is hilarious. The funniest way the regular season for us could end is not getting a poison we hoped for being the only reason we get out of this situation. That is easily the funniest way this could end, and we have a real chance to do that because we have Psybeam Weezing. I've never seen Psybeam Weezing, but I've never been more excited for something, Tyler.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know Psybeam Weezing was a thing. I don't know why the gassy trio of balls can learn Psybeam, but maybe that's how they communicate with each other. I don't know.
I think you figured out the puzzle. I didn't have the pieces. You put them together. That was impressive. This is the season. I am nervous. I'm buttoning the jacket up. I'm unbuttoning the jacket
up. John Cena taught me to never give up. The last thing I will do is button over him. Come on. This is for John.
Thank you.
No, Cena.
Oh.
For both Johns. For all the Johns. For every John. My father's name, John. There's so many Johns.
Let's go.
The Johns out there. This move is for you.
Right.
This season's for you. And hopefully there's one more game of this season to dedicate to all the Johns.
All right.
Shady, click something. We're ready to go.
You can tell that the opponent knows how big this is. We live the move! Psybeam?
Holding up for one.
Psybeam Weezing?
He's telling us to wait?
Oh! 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 Let's go! Let's go, Tyler! I don't know why he was telling us to wait. Rocky Helmet made sure there was no focus sash. There was no way it had a berry to live. We were going to take it out. Okay. We could still lose this though. Let's Tyler, compose yourself. Compose yourself, be a professional, okay?
This is for the Johns.
Let's go.
We shall not lose. We will not give up. We never give up. We never surrender.
Okay. This is big though. The burn on the Vaporeon is looming very large.
It is.
This battle is not over, but I'm so thankful it's Terra Fairy and not Terra Psychic. Now, Shady could put on his super big boy pants. It's not regular big boy pants. They're super big boy pants and go for that Terra Blast here. But I don't know if he has those pants available. I'm pretty sure only one coach got them. They're out of stock. Come on, Ben. Come on. There it is. He had to go for the Psychic. It's gonna do diddly squat. We get the wish, and there's no way Vaporeon goes down. I don't actually know if Terra Blast would have two-shot here, but I know for certain Psychic had no shot. And now, we are a wish and a protect away from possibly winning this battle. It's not over yet. I said possibly. But Shady's gonna have to make some unbelievable plays to get out of this situation.
It feels amazing considering the roller coaster this battle has been to even be in this spot, to even have a chance. Again, Ben has coached his tushy off the last 2 weeks.
As I said, the biggest boy pants. They might have ended this battle and ended our season. It would have been one of the crazier plays to make that. Thankfully, we were fine. And hey, maybe it still wouldn't have killed. But now we get the heal up here. And we should be good. This has been one of my favorite battles I've ever commentated. Neither coach, I can't think of a misplay either coach has had. I think both coaches prepped incredibly well. For Shady to get out of that situation with Glastrier is crazy. For Ben to get himself in this position is crazy. And just in general, for Shady to be able to be in this spot with the amount of bulk we had, where it's, very difficult for Shady's team to break through a lot of the Pokemon we had. It is remarkable that we have a fun game to commentate. A battle this long, being this entertaining, is such a rarity. This is so satisfying, and with that Terra Blast, that feels like a white flag to me, Tyler.
Everything came down to one of nature's most sacred laws. Penguins do not wear pants. But the Beneral, not only does he wear pants, John, he wears the oversized jumbo big boy pants by law.
I was gonna say he was required by law to wear pants.
Oh, he would be our coach if he did.
Yeah, that's like yeah.
We'd have to go to HR. I mean, come on.
Right.
What kind of organization do you guys think we're running here? That's crazy. Oh. Goopers.
Man, I gotta take a second, man. I have been battling in Draft League since the second Draft League season ever. I've had the privilege to go against Shady so many times, and I think the best part about it is I've had so many fantastic, just memorable battles against him. It is so cool all these years later to be able to go against him. And if we can win this battle, it is truly a win-win. Both organizations making it into the postseason where any team can win. It is just the best case scenario in a season with so many expectations. We might be squeaking into the playoffs, but Tyler, you know as well as anybody, that's a brand new season. You wipe the slate clean. Everyone is 0-0. Best man wins.
Well, and it gets so spicy with the playoff format because we don't know what our final seed will be. I'm sure Ben will talk about it after the match. You can't just look at the standings and say, all right, based off of this, here's who you're going to play. The top 4 seeds get to pick in order who they're facing. So we could face from the number 1 seed, Gator, who's been rolling through everybody, yet to lose a match. We could play anybody else that gets one of those top 4 seeds. We have no idea. It's going to come down to who wants to play more, or realistically, who doesn't want to play more. And right now, John, I don't know if anybody's going to want to play Ben in this team with the way that he's finished the season.
I mean, he made changes to the team and just dragged this team into the playoffs. So even if you have beaten this team before, I mean, you're playing a completely different squad. Not a different coach. I mean, this is a coach who has won a lot of big games in his time. But I mean, you are playing one of the scariest organizations out there. And unless there's some wacky trickery, which is always possible, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I mean, if Magmortar wasn't a white flag, I feel like the Woodhammer here is a bit of a white flag, as between Rocky Helmet and the recoil and the burn, I don't actually, with the recoil, even if it killed Vaporeon, I don't think it's possible to win. Might be able to get another kill. There's a lot of differential things at stake. I mean, it was a crazy end of the season for the SBL overall. So maybe that's something that Shady's going for. You bring in Caesar, that should be the end of it. I guess the only question now is, can Weezing tough it out and end this battle, these two alive? Oh, or do we stay in and try to get a kill with Vaporeon? Hey, there it is. It doesn't matter. That's my coach. Let's go. Let's go, Tyler. Man, let's go. Ugh.
We didn't know halfway through the season if this match would matter. We didn't know if last week would matter. And now this team has not just made it into the playoffs. We're not limping into the playoffs. This might be, outside of, again, Gator, who has dominated everyone, this might be the hottest team in the SPL right now. And the thing with Ben, we talked about this last year. I've talked about it multiple times this season. When he gets into a groove, when he gets into his rhythm, you're going to be hard-pressed to find anybody that can coach better than the Beneral. And right now, from a team standpoint, from a coaching standpoint, Playmore is hitting its stride at the right time. I am so excited we get to do another match, and I can't wait to see who it's going to be against.
Whoever it is, man, I'm going into that battle with confidence. And from where we were in the season, that is honestly an impressive thing to say. And I just want to give all the credit. Well, first to Shady. I think I've said a lot of nice things. I love everything that has to do with Shady Penguin. Outside of the fact that you're bringing up penguins don't wear pants, that's concerning, Tyler.
It's a law of nature. It's not me. It's nature. Consult it with them.
I will. The meeting's scheduled.
Mother!
It's just so cool to get to battle him, and I can't wait to see what he does in the playoffs. But when it comes to our coach, you know, this season was really meant to be a celebration of Draft League. So many, you know, OGs of the scene coming back to battle. And a reason Playmore is here is me. But I'm not coaching. I'm not battling. That pressure is not on me. I've retired. I'm in the booth. I'm having fun up here. I care as much as anyone cares about this team. But the pressure of, you know, me coming back was placed on Ben's shoulders. And not just that, because, you know, we're not like one of those OG teams coming in. We're kind of a new team, even though we have a little bit of the old school. It's an interesting combination. I think so much pressure is heaped on Ben. When you get told you have the best draft and you lose early, even more pressure is heaped on you. And then with this being, you know, an esports team, it's not a traditional Draft League team. We're trying to build something a little bit bigger. You know, there can be talk, a few comments of like, oh, would they replace the coach? We're not replacing anyone. This is the best coach on the market. But all of that stuff can build and build and build and build and build. And the reason I love working with Ben, I love watching Ben battle. It does not matter how much pressure you stack on that man. He's going to go into every battle, give it his all, and he is one of the best freaking battlers out there. I don't want to go into battle with anyone else. I'm excited to hear what he has to say, Tyler, and I could not be happier that for the second straight season, Playmore is entering the playoffs with a real chance to bring home a trophy. A lot of work to do before we can even look at it, consider it, but it's a possibility, and that's all that matters.
Holy oh, I thought I lost that game. Dude, that crit. I don't know if you got the hot mic on that, but I called it out the turn before it happened, and we've been so unlucky this season, bro. I'm just not as bad as Nexus, so I just want to throw that out there. Nexus is a freaking hero, an absolute soldier. But I'm happy we pulled through. I was so defeated. I was so defeated, man, after that critical hit. I mean, I'm sure you guys could see it. I really thought it was all over. I wanted to forfeit, to be completely honest. I was just so down after that. But after I noticed that Vaporeon was kind of like difficult to kill, and then I noticed I got a wish into Weezing, I'm like, as long as I don't get cheesed again, I win this. And thank God that happened. Obviously, I don't think it would have happened if he wasn't Choice Scarf Weezing, or Choice Scarf Lando T. And ironically, our bad luck paid off when we didn't poison the Facade Lando T. God, I love Pokemon. It's wild, dude. So I definitely, I think it goes without saying, without a critical hit, specifically that Rotom. I think literally the only other crit that would have saved him from Glastrier would have been like Earthquake crit from Lando T. That's the only thing. Otherwise, Glastrier won, and that was just like a 4-0? 5-0? Either way, I think of 4-0. And that would have been wild, because Horse would have gotten 5 kills, which is insane. And he would have been second in the MVP race, but we got robbed. But we won! Dude, I was so stressed in that late game. Y'all saw me holding my breath at every potential hacks he could have got to for the bounce back with like the special defense drop with Psychics, or like crits with potential Terra Blasts and stuff like that. I was sweating bullets, dude. I was hesitant as well with the Psybeam, whether or not it was going to kill Sneasler, just depending on like how much crazy HP. But then I forgot he took the Rocky Helmet chip, so like it always was going to kill after he took that chip, even if he had a like max HP investment because of the special defense drop. I guess he didn't have Dire Claw, because if he had Dire Claw, that was definitely his play, not the close combat. I mean, like I said, 2 Rocky Helmet hits into Psybeam should KO him, but if he had a lot of HP since he wasn't on Burden Set, it might have not, or it would have been a roll. Which, if that was the case where he cheesed me with Dire Claw, with like 2 Dire Claws and Weezing goes down, or Dire Claw into close combat, and Weezing dies, and Sneasler's still up, then Vaporeon automatically can't do anything about it, so... that was extremely stressful there, but I love to see Psybeam pick up the KO there. That was actually pretty dang dope. Man, I just can't believe I won after that crit, dude. It's just like, it's blowing my mind. I know I dragged it on, but I mean, if... I warned you guys in the team builder. Like, I was bringing a fat team because I needed that reliable stuff against Shady. If I was going offense versus offense, one misplay and I'm just going to lose the game. So I brought the right team, and luckily it worked out. He could not break through Vaporeon. I was really surprised no Thunderbolt on that Mortar. Mainly because Psychic plus Terra Blast Fairy makes no sense to me. So I'm really curious about his thought process there. I'll definitely watch his side. I was going to do that anyways, but I always love to see, you know, all of the coaches' readings behind their builds. Because no build is bad. Alright, let me make that very clear. No build is bad. You just don't understand what's going through their head. If they got a plan, they got a plan, and that's the power of Draft League, baby. The only builds that are bad are Leo, because he's stinky. We made playoffs, man. Oh, by like, I don't know what kind of saying, like, I want to say here. I'm just so happy I made playoffs. I've never been so happy to get a terrible 500 win rating. I definitely should have been like 6-2 this season. I'm not gonna cap with y'all. I should have been like 6-2. That's nothing against our coaches. I choked twice. So I definitely could have done a little bit better than that, but it's all good, man. So what you guys are waiting for? If you know about the playoff format for SPL, or if you don't, what happens is the top 4, technically the top 3, based off their seeding, get to choose their opponent from the bottom 4 for the total top 8 of playoffs. Gator did finish a monster this season, getting the #1 seed, and he got to choose his opponent, and then it moved on so forth. I'm not going to spoil the other games for y'all. You can just go see the rest of it. No one decided to choose us. They were terrified of the Play More roster, baby. Terrified of the General. Without that, we had to face the #4th rank overall, which is going to be the Denver Big Nuggets, coached by Lord Envy. I love Envy as a person for sure. He's a very good coach. I actually got to hang out with him a few months ago at our mutual friend's wedding. Shout out to Choice Man CJ. If you know him, you're a goat. We had a good time at his wedding, had a good few drinks. Lit it up on the dance floor. We got some, Envy and I got some moves, okay? Let's just put that out there. But now I have to pull a move on him and knock him out of playoffs.